In the shadow-strewn alleys of Varanasi, where the Ganges whispered age-old secrets, an unsettling chill pervaded the air. Stories of the Pishachas, flesh-eating demons with gaunt figures and glowing red eyes, were not mere myths here. They were palpable fears, murmured about by old sages and feared by the common folk. Nikhil, a young researcher fascinated by mythological creatures, had come to this ancient city to uncover the truth behind these spectral legends. Armed with his journals and a skeptical mind, he ventured into the heart of the oldest ghats at midnight, where the boundary between the living and the dead seemed perilously thin. As the moon cast a silvery glow over the desolate cremation grounds, Nikhil felt a palpable sense of dread. The air was thick with the scent of marigold and sandalwood, remnants of the day's funerals. His camera's flash cut through the darkness, capturing the eerie stillness. But it was his ears that picked up the first sign of the unnatural, a faint, malicious giggle that danced on the edge of the wind. Unnerved but determined, Nikhil pressed on. The giggle grew into murmurs, then whispers, as if the night itself spoke in tongues of madness. Shadows moved with unnatural jerkiness, and the temperature dropped sharply. His breath visible in the air, Nikhil saw them figures gaunt and elongated, with sunken eyes that burned red in the flashlight's beam. Paralyzed by fear, yet driven by an academic fervor, he took a step closer. The figures recoiled, then hissed, their voices a cacophony of despair. Memories not his own flashed before his eyes, visions of torment, decay, and sadness overwhelming his senses. It was then Nikhil understood. The Pishachas did not just feed on flesh, but thrived on the psychic residue of despair and tragedy that lingered in these sacred grounds. Overcome by their oppressive sadness, Nikhil stumbled back, his mind racing. Each step away from the ghats felt like wading through molasses. The Pishachas advanced, their forms blurring between reality and nightmare. Nikhil's heart pounded, his earlier skepticism replaced by a primal urge to survive. He broke into a run, the Pishachas' wails echoing behind him, a sound that seemed to feed on his fear. Reaching the safety of the lit streets, he dared not look back, his mind reeling from the encounter. The night had changed him. The academic's curiosity had been replaced by a haunted awareness. The myths were not myths at all, but realities far more horrific than his logic could accept. Days passed, and Nikhil tried to resume his normal life, but the echoes of that night lingered. At times he would pause, feeling watched, and turn only to catch a fleeting glimpse of red eyes in the crowd. The city had more than its share of shadows, and now he knew what dwelled within them. Nikhil wrote his findings. His words a warning veiled his research. He spoke of psychological phenomena, of mass hallucinations by the riverside, but his hands trembled as he wrote, each word a reminder of the night he met the Pishachas. Echoes of the Forsaken was published to mild academic acclaim, its contents too fantastical for serious consideration. Yet those who had walked the ghats of Varanasi read his words with knowing fear. They understood that Nikhil's tale was not just a study, but a testament, a cautionary whisper, to respect the stories passed down through generations. For in the darkness of Varanasi, the past was neither dead nor truly past. It lingered, hungered, and remembered. If you like this story, and for more dark stories, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. See ya!